Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the final race of Season 2 of the VOR iRacing IndyCar Sprint Series presented by IFS Personal Financial Planning. It is State versus O'Sullivan versus Moore, a three-way fight for the championship going into the final race here at the Red Bull Ring. We've had 4 races starting in Zandvoort, running at Brands Hatch last week, and now we are here to crown a champion. Just 8 points separate the top 3 in the championship. Here you can see the points or the championship situation. 49 points for Nathan Moore, 43 points for Liam O'Sullivan, and 41 points for Adam State. This does not take into consideration their one and only drop week. The race points are 15 for a win, 12 points for second, 10 for third, and then it drops down by 1 point. Every position there are 2 bonus points for leading the most laps and 1 bonus point for starting on the pole position. So qualifying underway, we have 4.5 minutes left, and of course that first bonus point is going to be pretty important. Basically, if Adam State wants to be in any shot of winning the championship, he has to outscore his teammate Nathan Moore by 7 points or more, funnily enough, and then depending on if State wins this race, he should be able to win it on the tiebreak. Of course, Liam O'Sullivan pretty much has to win and then hope that the WSR eSports butt kicker drivers both finish outside the podium to be in a realistic shot at this championship. So we will keep an eye out as best as possible on the championship situation as the race develops. But I am super excited for this because it's been a long time since I've covered a championship race. And this is a very good one indeed. Just 8 championship points is the difference. For those who are joining us now for the first time, this is the final race of this season, but next season is just around the corner as well, starting on November 7th at the Texas Motor Speedway Oval, the one and only oval. Then we go to Fuji and Nürburgring before an off week at Belle Isle, Monza and Interlagos to close out the season and the year for the Sprint Series. Of course, we also have the iconic DW12s on Fridays. And you can see that schedule. Pocono this weekend, starting tomorrow actually, the Pocono 200. Closing in on Las Vegas in December. And the same situation here for the IndyCar Series, running from Pocono to Kentucky, Phoenix, Detroit and Las Vegas as well. So those are the schedules as we continue to watch people on qualifying laps. Here's Patrick Silvassi on his lap. And here is the chaser, Adam State. He made a mistake in the first round of the season at Zandvoort, which so far has cost him quite a lot in the championship fight. But of course, that will be his drop week, more likely than not. As State comes across the line to set a lap time of a 1:13.6, which is a little less than 3/10 quicker than Patrick Silvassi. Here is Nathan Moore across the line. Can he beat his teammate's lap time? I have a feeling it's going to be very close. And actually just starting his run. Okay, interesting. Okay. He looked pretty much on the limit there in the final corner. So let's see what Nathan can do on his run. Liam O'Sullivan, I'm pretty sure, is on his hot lap. And I apologize in advance, by the way. I have been feeling a bit under the weather this week. Hopefully my voice holds out, but if you ever hear a strange noise, I really do apologize. I'll try to minimize it as best as possible, so it's not as obvious, but if one thing slips out like a little cough or something, I do apologize. Trying to stay as professional as possible here, but not always possible when you're not feeling the greatest. But across the line, Liam goes. And we have to wait for the ticker to update, and it's only a 1:14.1, so that's a very disappointing run there for Liam O'Sullivan, who is being sandwiched in the championship standings at the moment. So not the qualifying result he needs, as Nathan Moore coming across the line now to finish his lap. With 50 seconds on the board, and Moore only third fastest, so 2/10 slower than teammate Adam State. So the chaser leads, the championship leader Nathan Moore, and Liam O'Sullivan all the way down in P6 now, as Jack James Qualifies inside the top 5, good run for him. And Jorge Marquinez didn't have the best of qualifying sessions last week at Brands Hatch, but this time around he did put in a pretty solid lap. As Tijn van der Velde with a 1:14.7 in P8. He was one of the drivers who did not practice all that much for this race, but he is very excited to run here. Feels like he is right on the pace. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do. But qualifying results are in. So here is the starting grid for the championship race, the Sprint of Austria. It is Adam State on the front row on the pole, with Jorge Marquinez alongside, both of those guys in the 1:13.6s. Nathan Moore and Patrick Silvassi share the second row. Jack James and Liam O'Sullivan on row 3. Not the qualifying result Liam had hoped for. Carroll Stout making his first start in P8, P7. Tijn van der Velde P8. Jensen O'Neill going, and Dave Stedman on row 5. Then moving on to the next page of qualifying results. We have Pim van Gastel and Oliver Cottam, who had a qualifying ban penalty for this race. So here we go for the final race of the season. Final cars about to grid up. And I hope my voice holds it out for the first lap. So a final very quick reminder. 8 points is the difference between Nathan Moore, Liam O'Sullivan and Adam State. And it's all to play for in this final race here at the Red Bull Ring. Let us know who you are cheering for in the chat. We'll try to have as much interaction as possible during the race, but it looks like the final driver has gridded up. Lights are coming on for the drivers. The drivers revving up their engines, and for one final time this season, it's lights out and away we go. And Adam State does not get the best of starts, and Jorge Marquinez jumps straight into the lead. Nathan Moore to the inside, gonna gain the position on his teammate as well, as the field storms down into turn 3. Already 3 wide as Liam O'Sullivan is looking to make up ground as quickly as possible, as we have one car locking up. Oh, and there's carnage. Liam O'Sullivan is out, and Adam State also has damage, I believe. It did pop back up into place, but Patrick Silvassi's wing is gone. Multiple drivers with damage, and Patrick Silvassi, like I mentioned, the most notable one with no rear wing on the car. Jensen O'Neill going also without a left front wing. And yeah, there's damage for Adam State. So the perfect start, you could say, for Nathan Moore. About as close as you can get anyway, running in second. So the first lap in the books. And it's Jorge Marquinez out in the lead. 1.5 seconds clear of Nathan Moore and Jack James 2 seconds back. Tijn van der Velde getting by Jensen O'Neill going in turn 3. O'Neill gonna try to come back with that damaged front wing to the outside. Tijn on the inside, gonna hold on to the position. Top 5 for the pink VOR car. Oh, somebody just went off. That's Oliver Cottam. There he is in the Bronze GP car, recovering, rejoining the track surface as he falls all the way down to P8. So Liam O'Sullivan is 21 seconds behind the leader in P9. But his championship aspirations looking very, very dimmed indeed. Jack James to the inside of Nathan Moore. Late on the brakes and pulls it off. But the cutback for Nathan Moore. Not gonna happen. No push to pass used from either of them. As Jack James does move into second position. This race is already harder than I thought for my voice. There's Adam State coming back out of the pits, 2 laps down now. Moore still following Jack James, who is burning push to pass. Moore might be trying to keep up with James and try to catch back up to the leader. Jorge Martinez. So in all of that, Dave Stedman got up into the top 5. And in between my coughing sessions, I probably missed a few moves. Here is Liam O'Sullivan passing Jensen O'Neill going. I think there was a pit stop for Jensen right there. Yes, it was. Okay. Let's go back to live pictures then. So Jack James and Nathan Moore not really catching Jorge Martinez, who is just so good at leading races. So 24 laps on the menu, 19 and a bit of which to go. It will be interesting to see if we can hit the full distance. Looking from the nose of Nathan Moore to Jack James in the Pray.com 53, which sounds weird to say. Yeah, Nathan Moore clearly lifting off. Doesn't want to pass him into turn 1, but he is going to try it here, I think, is he? He wants the inside, and he's going to get it here. To the inside, back for second. Pulls it off, but the momentum is on the outside. Very good traction there by Jack James. None of them on the button, surprisingly enough. Choosing to save the button for later. Side by side into turn 5. And Nathan Moore gains the position. And Adam State 2 laps behind. Not for position, but is running third in line. So Oliver Cotham now out of the race, deciding not to continue. Dave Stedman about 7 seconds behind Tijn van der Velde, who is making up a little bit of ground now on the podium. Just 6 seconds back from Jack James now, so doing good for having not practiced quite that much. State getting around James, of course, not for position. State does need to show some pace and be able to pull away though if he wants to rightfully gain this track position. One of the rules of the series is the blue flag rules, meaning a lapped car cannot interfere or impede, if you will, cars running on the lead lap, which at the moment seems to be happening. Now there is no set limit on how long you can try and pull away, but generally speaking a lap or two should be plenty of time to display pace if you have it, which at the moment is not happening. Back to the front. Jorge Marquinez has led all of the laps so far, gained the lead at the start of the race and has not looked back ever since, doing what he is so good at. Once he is at the front, he will not give it up. One thing that might give up is my voice in just about 2 minutes, but that's another topic. Tijn saying in chat pre-race that he is washed. That's what happens when you don't practice for the race. Jack James, despite being held up a little bit by Nathan Moore's teammate Adam State, pulling away to 7 seconds in front of Tijn van der Velde. As Liam O'Sullivan makes a move around Pim van Gastel into the top 6 again. And he will set sail for the top 5 in Dave Stedman's position. Dave Stedman just up the road, entering turn 5. Turn 4, really. Let's go back to this battle and see it in full. This is coming to the start of lap 10. Pim van Gastel makes a mistake. Liam O'Sullivan pounces right to the inside and pulls off the pass on the push to pass. Pretty simple move there after that mistake by Pim. So off camera, State did allow Jack James back by again. So Jack James now able to close the gap back into Nathan Moore. Okay, so here's a good look at the lap times for Liam O'Sullivan, starting from lap 7 to 8, 9 and 10. You can see the pace drop off is about 3 seconds, 3 full seconds. And then looking at Dave Stedman, the last time by, those figures might be off a little bit. I don't think Dave Stedman lapped 2 seconds quicker when Liam caught him by 2 seconds, so we'll ignore those graphics. Normally they do a pretty good job by being accurate, but not this time around. Did start 10th though, and currently running in the top 5 is Dave Stedman, so doing a good job. He might lose that position pretty quickly though, as Liam O'Sullivan is right on his gearbox. Oh, that's a very late call to pit lane by Dave Stedman. Just before halfway, gonna be the first one to dive into the pits. No real surprise, red tie is coming off, red tie is going on, and he is off and away. Dave Stedman gonna rejoin. In around P8, I would say. And it is P6 because Pim van Gasten also pitted and Karel Stout is too far back. Thought those guys were closer. So P6 for Dave Stedman. The top 5 yet to pit. Let's see if Liam can pull off the overcut. Let's go on board for a lap with your race leader Jorge Marquinez. So Jorge Marquinez now pits. That hands the lead over to Nathan Moore for the first time since the drop of the green. And he is off and away for a very quick stop, Jorge Marquinez. Tijn van der Velde also in for his first and only stop of the day, with 10 laps to go. So here is Liam, who did get ahead of Dave Stedman on the pit cycle. So we just missed that as I was dealing with something. If you ever tried to commentate while you had the flu or something just as bad, you'll know what I'm talking about. Here's the battle for P7 and Pim van Gastel. No contest here. Carol Stout for the dual Sierra Alliance team to the inside. Ooh, Pim does actually fight it a little bit on entry. Has to concede the position though. Carol Stout up to 7th. Pim van Gastel down to 8th. So Nathan Moore on the button, fresher tires, or hotter tires I should say, pitting a lap earlier than Jorge Marquinez did. Am I saying this right? No, I'm not saying it right. Marquinez pitted first, the other way around. So Marquinez pitted first, Moore pitted last, and he is now right on the back of Marquinez, so the overcut working. Pretty well at the moment. So 7/10 is the gap for first and second. Not sure how O'Neill going jumped ahead a full lap almost. Oh, that's right, because O'Neill going still has to pit. Okay. I correct myself. O'Neill going the first... the last car, sorry, to pit. So I'm struggling to speak now in the language sense as well. Oh, overtake for the lead, we just missed it. Nathan Moore to the front. Here it is. Nathan Moore with a big run to the inside of turn 4. Marquinez late on the brakes, goes really deep. And that just hands the lead over to Nathan Moore. Coming across the line for 8 laps to go in the sprint of Austria to crown a champion. It's hard to do the math during the race and keeping up with the race. At the moment, I think it is looking pretty solid in Nathan Moore's hands. So O'Neill going finally pits. That moves Liam, Dave and Carol back up one position, and so does Pim van Gastel, by the way. closest battle on the track outside of the lead, who are still running about 1.7 seconds apart. They're both on push to pass. But Carroll Stout and Dave Stedman. Carroll Stout gonna be making his first start in the Indy Elite Series in the upcoming 10th and final season. Starting December 9th from the top of my head, where he will be joining myself and a few others on the Velocity Online Racing team lineup. Running under Dual Sierra Alliance here, of course, with teammate Lucas Santos. Stout to the inside of turns 2 and 3 of Dave Stedman. Dave later on the brakes than Carroll, but goes in a little bit deep, locks up the inside front, and that allows Carroll through with a good exit as well. And he will hold on to that position as well, Carroll does, so move him up to P6. As for Silvestri, after suffering wing damage from the start, currently running in 9th. Getting 2 spots from State and Cotton, who both called it a day, and also from O'Neill going, who got a penalty, I believe. Just want to say a massive thanks to IFS Personal Financial Planning for sponsoring the Sprint Series. They are a family office that specializes in transferring intergenerational wealth and minimizing the taxes incurred. You can get in contact through email at alex@ifsbfp.com for more information. Of course, for those who missed it at the start of the show, the next season's schedule is announced. Starting on November 7th at Texas, then going to Fuji and the Nürburgring, before an off week until we return to Belle Isle, Monza and Interlagos to close out the Season 3 Championship. Races stay on Thursdays at 8 PM UK time and will switch to fixed setups. And we've got the Iconic Series on Fridays running the DW12s also at 8 PM UK time, and the IndyCar Championship on Saturdays also at 8 PM UK time. All three series are fixed setups. Carroll Stout has pitted and drops to P8. So that moves Dave Stedman back up a position after Carroll Stout has pitted. But currently 3 laps to go. Nathan Moore does everything he needs to do, and a reminder for you, the championship fight going in. So this is not as it stands. Going in is Nathan Moore leading by 6 over Liam and 8 over teammate Adam State. And at the moment Liam and State both down the order, so Nathan Moore is actually going to extend his championship lead for this race. Or from this race, I should say. So 2 laps to go until Nathan Moore is looking to be crowned your champion. I won't say is going to be crowned because anything can happen in the last 2 laps of this one. At the moment, Nathan Moore doing everything he needs to do. He has a 75% top 5 rate. 3 top 5s in total out of the 4 races run until today. 2 wins. And he has finished all the races in the top 10. And another fun thing to mention, he has only collected 2 incident points in the sim, which averages out to half an incident point per race. Nathan's average finish in this series is 2.8. Of course, those 2 wins bumped it up massively. His first result this season was, I believe, a 7th place finish from the top of my head. But 1 lap to go for Nathan Moore. In the WSR eSports butt kicker number 72. Lost the lead for about half the race at the start of the race to Jorge Marquinez, but after pit stops showed Jorge how it's done on the tire warm-up and then the race pace to the end. Jorge Marquinez did run the majority of the race up front. We can actually bring those stats up for a very brief moment. So led 14 of 24 laps. So he will get the bonus points for leading the most laps. But that's not going to matter because Nathan Moore has only a couple more corners to go for his 3rd win of the season and a series championship. Through turn 9. Through turn 10, flirting with an off-track here and there as well. But out of the final corner, Nathan Moore wins his 3rd race of the season and the series champion. Nathan Moore is the Sprint Series champion of Season 2. Jorge Marquinez comes across the line to finish 2nd. Jack James rounds off the podium, and then Tijn van der Velde arrive and drive to P4 for the pink VOR car. Teammate Liam O'Sullivan coming through the final few corners to claim a 5th place. Not the day he had hoped for, but still put up a good fight. And of course we all know what happened to Adam State. Got collected in that first lap incident and was out of contention pretty much immediately. Dave Stedman, Pim van Gastel and Carol Stout gonna complete the top 8, the final car on the lead lap, and then Patrick Zilvassi has already finishes in P9, and then the DNS are O'Neill going and State, and of course also Oliver Cotton. So there you have it. Nathan Moore wins the Sprint of Austria and the championship in front of Jorge Marquinez and Jack James, who complete the podium. Tijn van der Velde and Liam O'Sullivan, the 2 teammates, complete the top 5. Dave Stedman, Pim van Gastel, Karel Stout, Patrick Zilvassi and Jensen O'Neill going the top 10. Final 3 finishing positions. Final 2 finishing positions, Adam State and Oliver Cotton. Those are your race results. We'll interview your race winner and champion only today. But before we do that, quickly one final look at the schedule next season whilst I sort out the replays. So starting November 7th, is the 6th race schedule at the Texas Motor Speedway. Then we go to the Fuji Speedway. And then the Nürburgring. Before we have an off week until Belle Isle, Monza, and Interlagos. the iconic series schedule starting tomorrow, restarting tomorrow at Pocono. Then Kentucky, Phoenix, Michigan, and Las Vegas to close out the campaign for 2024. Same story here, except Michigan is swapped with Detroit for the IR18 series. All series are fixed setups. And the IndyCar series has a $10 entry fee for the final 5 races of the season. So if you want to get involved, join the Discord, sign up. The Discord links have been fixed. We were avoiding some spam bots, but that should all be away now. So you are able to join the Discord again now and get on the grid with us on Thursdays, Fridays, or Saturdays at 8 p.m. UK time. You know what the hell. It's the last race of the season anyway. Why don't we just bring in everybody? We'll keep it short though. This overlay does not want to work and show the results again. So hello, Jack. Congratulations. I'll kick in the door immediately. I'm going to keep this one very short because my voice cannot hold this out. But great race from you again today. Good job on the podium. Just quickly tell us about your race and also your battle with those around you for that final podium spot.
Yeah, to be honest with you, it was probably one of the more like tame races, bar the first lap, because I think that sort of spread everyone out quite a lot. But yeah, it was sort of a blessing in disguise. I'm sure Nathan will say the same thing in a minute, but we completely both missed our breaking point, went straight on, and then turns out that we missed probably one of the biggest incidents that this championship has seen to date. But yeah, apart from that, I tried to run the overcut because that was quicker. Then I tried to catch Marquinez towards the end, but unfortunately got to slow down at the final corner. So then that sort of ruined any chance of that happening. Despite I was actually closing in on him, given a few more laps. But yeah, apart from that, pretty standard race for me.
Yeah, that first lap was very interesting indeed. But going into next season, first of all, will you be a part of it? And then, if so, what are your opinions on the track selections?
Yeah, so as much as I'd like to be a part next season, definitely if I can. I need to see if I can make all of the dates, but I think the track selection definitely is varies really well. We got some tight twisty tracks, we got some ovals in there as well. I think we start next season at Texas, so to be honest, there's a track to suit everyone, I think.
Absolutely, and if the attendance from the Indy Oval was anything to go by, it should be the most attended race of the season as well.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have some of the IR18 guys hopping in for a race and see how we stack up against them.
It could be a very interesting idea, actually. I might look into that for you and everybody else in this series. I'll keep that in mind. But anyway, congratulations once again on your third place, and we hope to see you again next time around.
Cheers. Thank you very much. Thank you.
It was a pleasure. See ya. Hello, Jorge. Congratulations on your second place. In case you didn't know, I'm feeling a bit under the weather, so I'm going to keep it short, unfortunately. But good to speak to you. You led the majority of the first stint, and then after the pit stops, it kind of went down the other way. So just tell us about your race pace and what you were feeling in the cockpit when Nathan Moore came up behind you and passed you like that.
Yeah, I made a good start. I overtake Nathan and Adam. I don't know what happened behind me because he obviously had a crash, and I took the lead easily. Then I pull up a gap, and Jack was fighting with Nathan. I think Nathan, of course, was a little bit cautious because he's fighting for the championship, so he didn't have the necessity to fight there. And then I don't know what happened, man. I screw up. I unchecked sometime on the race the tires, and when I stopped, I didn't take any tires. I made all the race with one set of tires. So the second stint, yeah, was kind of a struggle. I thought that my tires weren't going on to temperature, and then I realized, oh, maybe they didn't change it. So yeah, it was impossible to keep up with Nathan with the same times that I started with.
Yeah, that explains a lot. I actually did not consider that. It is a very real thing. Yeah, it actually happens a lot more than you think when
Well,
people
it's my
don't get
first time
times.
on iRacing that it happens. I normally didn't uncheck that, but I think my new wheel, I press the wrong button going through the menu.
Yeah, it happens, but still came away with the second place. So you still did a pretty good job considering the circumstances. So you can be really happy with that performance. I know you wanted to win, but still P2 isn't that bad of a result at the end of the day. So
Yeah, first podium of the season and the only one. So I have to be happy with this result.
now that you mentioned that, I actually did not even look into this. That's incredible that this is only your first podium of the season. Normally, we're used to seeing you at the sharp end of the field. So yeah, actually quite a
Yeah.
big shock that it's only your first podium. So going into next season with a street course on the schedule and an oval, we will see you back and also your thoughts on the schedule.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to race because I'm missing two tracks. I'm missing Belle Isle and Fuji. I didn't have them, so I don't know. I will consider if I purchase them, and let's see. It could be fun. I'm having fun in these races. Of course, I'm not getting all the preparation I need to be able to fight with Nathan and Adam. They have great drivers both. So if I consider racing on the next season, I have to get up my game a little bit.
Yeah, and the league moving to fixed setup should also help you quite a bit with it leveling out the playing field a little bit. So
Yeah,
um,
because the setups that you are providing us are great, but of course, it's not even the field is not even.
yeah, and to be fair, like I'll tell you this right now, the main reason why we did open setups was to kind of invite some of the newer guys from the Pro Series in, like the guys at WSR eSports, to come in and learn the car, while still giving them freedom to adjust and just basically get more um, get a more open minded grid so people can learn the car in their own way, if that makes sense. So that's why we did it in the
Yeah.
first place. But now we feel like it's best for the series to just make it fixed setup. So that's why we're doing that. But yeah, great race again, Jorge. Congratulations on second, even though it wasn't the win. Still a good job. We'll see you hopefully for a couple races next time around in season 3.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for organizing this amazing championship.
Absolutely, it's a pleasure. See ya. All right, let's bring in your champion, and I waited to shout that in your ear, Nathan. Congratulations on your race win and the championship. Didn't quite win it in the way that you probably had hoped for, with your teammate crashing out on the first lap by getting hit from behind, I believe. But still had to click off the laps, and you did it. So congratulations. Just tell us about your start, and then also the second part of the race where Jorge, who did mention by the way, did not take tires at the stop, but how you lined him up for that pass.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, it was a good race. Yeah, as you say, it's not it'd be nice to have a race long battle with my teammate for the championship, but yeah, unfortunately, some things happened on lap one. I got a good initial start. It wasn't too bad. Went up the inside of Adam and then left plenty of room. And then I think he thought that I was maybe going the understeer, so I think he went wide. It gave him a slowdown, then he was in the pack. And then yeah, I actually outbroke myself into T2, and yeah, it was a blessing in disguise because it all kicked off behind, so I was kind of glad for that. And then after that, it was just about keeping it on the track, being patient with the push to pass. Playing the long game, was managing the rear tires. I felt quite well. And then, yeah, I think in the second half of the race, that would explain the pace difference that Jorge didn't take tires. That makes a lot more sense now. I didn't expect to catch him that quickly, and yeah, that makes perfect sense now. So it was just about keeping it on the road and getting to the finish.
You did spook him pretty well though, going into turn 4 by making him outbrake himself. So that was a pretty good move there. Just show your nose to the inside. That was a great executed little fake there. But Yeah, just congratulations on your championship. I don't have much room to speak anymore. Just quickly before I let you go, any thoughts on next season, and also um, any special words for sorry sorry for the sponsors and also your teammates and everything.
Yeah, just a shout out to you guys again. It was a great league, great season. Yeah, hopefully I'll turn up for next season. I'll have to wait and see what my schedule is like. But yeah, it was nice to race Adam all season long as well. Good battles. Pushing each other very hard, and yeah, it was a very enjoyable season. So thank you very much.
No problem at all. I do hope to see you back, because you guys all put on a great show this season. And yeah, I'll go as well now before my voice really dies. So go ahead and celebrate your championship, and we'll see you at some point in the future.
Thank you very much.
All right, that's gonna wrap it up. I do apologize. My voice cannot handle this anymore. Thanks everybody for a great season. It's been a pleasure to cover this for you guys. We will be back next season on November 7th at the Texas Motor Speedway to kick off season 3 of the Sprint Series. If you want to get involved in the IR18 sprints on Thursdays, the DW12's Iconic, or the IR18's IndyCar, the main series with full distance races on Saturdays, all 3 series are fixed setups. The Iconic and Sprint series are free to enter. There's a $10 to enter the remainder of the IR18 IndyCar series schedule. So if you want to get involved, sign up on the Discord and we'll get you sorted from there. But I want to thank one final time IFS Personal Financial Planning, and also Hand in Hand from last week's Brand Hatch Race for sponsoring the series this season, and everybody who came out to watch and drive in this series. So a huge thanks once again to everybody. I'm going to get some rest. Hopefully you guys do as well. And we'll see you all for the next race. And I'm going to hand over the mic to Gary for tomorrow's Pocono 200. Take care, everybody.